makes your day.
Hey, out of the way. Get up, kid. I'll keep all the materials here. Okay? And we're going to try one by one. We're going into Lex, Fridman, and Wart. So cue this up for us, Jules. What were they doing today? They put out a video.
This is just a clip from a podcast they did together called Joe Rogan is Under Attack.
This is unbelievable. These guys are so in love.
And I put 2 time codes, but we could probably watch most of it and just see what they're up to.
Look at the title of this video by Lex Fridman and Warts, and you'll recognize Warts right away.
They're saying they thought Kumia said hog.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Hog. That's what I was looking for. Who said that, Jules?
Lifer BM.
Is he part of the fighter in the Kid Reddit?
No.
Then delete his name from your vocabulary. We don't need to say it. It's a joke.
I know, but I just got it.
Joe Rogan is under attack. Eric Weinstein and Lex Fridman are here to save the day. Let's see how this opens. Not cool, Lex. Look at this. You know, this 70% opacity Lex Fridman over the atmosphere or the earth. This is what he designed. Look at this. You know, and we just glaze over this stuff as people. We're so used to all this crap. I mean, look at this. What if I said, hey, guys, check out the new Redbar, and it was a picture of me in a suit, 70% opacity over the earth? Wouldn't you go, come on, Mike, this is crazy. No, we just ignore it. We pretend that it's fine. Listen to this.
But I feel like the responsibility that you carry, that I carry.
Cheers, everyone, to a great Redbar.
Joe Rogan generally removes himself from being, I'm just a comedian. This idea of I'm just a comedian.
They all do that.
But
what do these guys have? No content? They just talk about Joe Rogan positively. So if you talk about Joe Rogan positively for an hour, you're amazing. Talk about Joe Rogan realistically for an hour. Oh, you've got no content. You're using imagine someone saying no content to me. Every word out of my mouth is grade A content. So when I see this, I start getting mad. I see a stainless steel refrigerator in the shot. Should you ever see a stainless steel refrigerator on a podcast? Unless it's being shot out of Best Buy?
At this moment in history, like history literally can pivot on the words of a tattooed
God,
ripped 50-year-old, you know.
That's how he's a tattooed 50-year-old who's ripped. He has it all. He has nothing. We all hate him. Don't you watch Redbar, Space Cadet? You're going to see Warts really soon. Don't worry, I'll zoom into all 70 of his moons. Okay? You know. We'll see the asteroids that have hit from inside coming out, you know, looking like Freddy Krueger's stomach. Again, I use that reference a lot, but his warts look like things are trying to escape from inside his head, pushing out, but they can't get through the thick layer of skin that he has.
Comedian.
Watch
and I
this.
think the same is true with you.
Okay, well, I'm interested and I care. Speaking of lyrics.
Wow. There he is. Warts. It's got about 72 syllables to it. Okay, try spelling warts. What's got more words? Paranth Venkataramarajam or Warts? What has more characters? Warts. You got it right. This guy not only has warts, and let's count some of these. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Wardians, 3 little, 4 little, 5 little Wardians, 6 little, 7 little, 8 little Wardians, 9 little Wardian warts, 9 little, 10 little, 11 If you're going up in key to do another verse, a rephrase, what do they call it? A reprise? That's a lot of warts. He dyes his hair. Now, his hair dye is thinning here. He dyes his hair jet black, as if that's going to help. And this guy, I'm telling you, like, this is another one of those guys where I go, I hope the FBI, I hope there's some authority watching these people, because what we're getting here is the biggest sham in the world. Like, we're letting these people talk to us on the internet, and the top guy on the internet is, like, should be in jail to me. Seriously. I'm not kidding around. When I hear the loose stuff coming out of these guys' mouths, Mike Baker, we'll show you him, Warts. I mean, it's so crazy and wrong. And who's going to believe me? You know, because I don't have some bullshit degree from MIT.
He doesn't have a degree from MIT.
What does he have a degree
Lex,
from?
Oh,
yeah, Lex does. Who does
no,
he
Lex
have?
doesn't.
Oh, doesn't. Okay, just
Worked
likes
for them, but
MIT. He talked about MIT once.
So
I'm telling you,
that he
these
went there.
guys are wrong. Listen, I'm not saying I'm smarter than them, but I am saying I think they're highly dangerous and they're wrong. And I just know it. Like, I know Mike Baker. We'll show you him. I know he's corrupt and bad. I just know it. I know Warts is vanity driven. Believe it or not. He's
Hard to believe looking at the
I know
warts,
Lex
I
is
swear.
not doing. I'm telling you, I don't just pick on these people for no reason. There's some people I don't bring up. What did I just forget about them? No, they're not this evil. Look at this nonsense that they're going to say. Do we go to a certain time code here? 4 minutes?
Yeah, you can go.
I can go. And I wish these people would listen to me. This Warts.
Oh, so they're going to... Remember a little while ago, we were mercilessly mocking Sam Tripoli for suggesting there was a conspiracy theory where the media was trying to take down Rogan via his friends.
Oh, my God. Listen to this. You know how Brian Callen, he went the way of the rape? Chris D'Elia got Me Too'd out of existence. Who else? Who else are the big name? I mean, there's more. Like Chris D'Elia, Brian
Joey
Callen.
Diaz.
Joey Diaz got Me Too'd very lightly. Okay, let's really break this down. Joey Diaz is really, well, I guess Brian Callen too. These people. Oh, I think I'll just let you hear what they say. Guys, remember when you thought Warts should be allowed to speak to the public? May I present you the tape that should have him arrested. It's Warts like you've never seen him before. Listen to this.
And like, okay, so if you do that, you totally miss the opportunity. And, you know, the savvy people used to say, kid, let me tell you, nobody ever lost a dime underestimating the intelligence of the American people. Well, that was totally wrong because they didn't calculate opportunity costs. I have been talking about the problem of Joe for a long time.
I've been talking about the problem of Joe for a long... Yeah, so have we. Imagine this. Intellectual. These are people. I've been talking about the problem of Joe for a long time. These are people who, like, lead colleges, I think. I don't know what these people do, actually. They wear suits. They're ugly. They think they're scientists. I don't know what these people are. But should they be involved with Joe Rogan outside of just promoting their concepts on his show? I mean, these are Rogan fanboys. But listen to what he says right now.
The problem is that when the system wakes up, they're going to want to control it.
And they come up with new different mechanisms of doing that. I guess one interesting one is cancel culture.
Well, look at the number of people around Joe who they've come after since they've realized that Joe
fucking K. One way this is Lex Fridman. One way they decide to control Joe is by using cancel culture. Who's they, by the way? And then Eric Weinstein, an intellectual that should be taken seriously, says, well, look at how they've come after the people around Joe. He's talking about Chris D'Elia, Brian Callen, and Joey Diaz. They didn't barely come after Joey Diaz, and when they did, it was in response to Joey Diaz's own words. Joey Diaz said, I made a woman who was a comic, I made her suck my dick for stage time. He said this out of his own mouth, didn't deny that it was true, didn't say just kidding. They hated him for that. Eric Weinstein is attempting to say that the people who went after Joey Diaz out of displeasement for that, it was a coordinated conspiracy to go after Joe Rogan because he's too big and the government won't stand that? Which government? Biden or Trump's government? You know, do you forget? One of your guys runs these things?
The media.
The
I think
media.
His thing is that Rogan's getting too big.
Chris D'Elia All those girls, those 32 girls that came out and said Chris was a creep, it's because the media and the man wants Joe Rogan taken down. Really? Chris D'Elia, who was on Rogan 3 times in 7 years, they went after him. They went after Brian Callen.
And this is the same opinion as Sam
This is really what's
Tripoli.
happening.
Sam Tripoli.
Yes, and Sam Tripoli says this, and they're not kidding, and Lex agrees with it. Guys, this is really a problem. Are we going to... And this is what I meant about how people play make-believe now. They literally, whatever they want to believe, they concoct an insane conspiracy around believing. This is what Crowder is doing right now. This is what Cumia is doing. This is what Mersch does. And in fact, this is what America's top online intellectuals do when they can't explain. I shouldn't be more tapped into this than him. So he's either lying or stupid. Either way, he should be jailed. Listen to this.
Well, that was totally wrong because they didn't calculate opportunity costs. I've been talking about the problem of Joe for a long time. The problem is that when the system wakes up, they're going to want to control it.
And they come up with new different mechanisms of doing that.
This is really dangerous.
I guess one interesting one is cancel culture.
Well, look at the number of people around Joe who they've come after since they've realized that Joe is really big. Joey Diaz.
Yeah.
Brian.
Who came after him? Me? Me? Who else came after him? One other girl?
What happened is...
Wait, I want to ask them this. Did the government and media come to me to take them down? Or are my takedowns part of something? You know what I mean? Yeah. Did the government and the media come to me? Am I part of the conspiracy? There's a conspiracy to take Joe down, so they're going after Joey Diaz, Chris D'Elia, and Callen. This is what he's saying. This isn't Mersch saying this. This isn't that aim, Worski guy saying this. This isn't Hostbuster. This is Eric Weinstein, one of the top renowned teachers of the world. You don't think this is scary?
They come up with new different mechanisms of doing that. I guess
listen to this whole
one
thing.
Interesting one is cancel culture.
Well, look at the number of people around Joe who they've come after since they've realized that Joe is really big. Joey Diaz, Brian Callen, Chris D'Elia.
That's it?
Now, I'm not saying...
Chris D'Elia and Rogan weren't even close.
They weren't even close. They didn't even know each other. 2 people came after Joey Diaz for 1 week, repeating what he said. The Chris D'Elia thing, I mean, come on. The media paid 32 different girls from around the world that did engage with him to tell a bad story. Brian Callen, the media found this girl that was... It doesn't make any sense. Why would this take down Joe? And why wouldn't they just go after Joe?
I know.
They're going to go after 3 of his acquaintances? This is really... But I'm telling you, the reason I'm blowing this up, guys, he's saying this. This is almost... Seriously, like a... This is crazy to me, right? Is this not crazy to say this? And this is what our world's become. Just going down a nonsense path of crazy and people not canceling you for it. He deserves to be thrown in the streets after saying this. Every esteemed award you've ever gotten should be stripped from you. You are nothing now after saying that, in my opinion. And if you don't find this troubling, I don't know, maybe you're in the clouds. Let's hear some more.
That those are all related, but I do notice that there are at least correlations between when Joe says something and when something bad happens in Joe's universe.
What?
It's easier for me to believe that that's happening when it's...
No, it is not, because I work for no one, and every time Joe does something bad, I cover it, and so does the fucking media. Because it's bad.
I mean, if they really wanted to
this,
cancel
the
Joe,
media is... Okay, go ahead.
3?
Go ahead.
No, you go.
No,
I feel
go
bad
ahead.
now.
Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say,
saying,
out of
this, you guys are taking this out of control with this. The media is lying about everything. Yeah, they lie about some things. Everything the media does is not a conspiracy. And like, we can't go there. You guys got to stop. It's too much.
And if you're looking at the 3 cases that he presents, Chris was the worst one, the person who's the farthest away from Joe. The Joey Diaz one barely took off. Only people who are on Twitter all day know about that. And if they wanted to take down Joe, they could have used that clip of him laughing at Joey to take him down way harder and blown it up way more, but nobody even cared. Only 2 random websites that desperately needed articles even wrote about it.
Yes. And again, this comes down to he needs to be stripped of all credibility. And Lex is sitting there agreeing with this. So how much worse must the world be if these two are in plain daylight saying just such nonsense? I've been here the whole fucking time, bro. It's nonsense. I am an expert. I am like, you remember those people in Jurassic Park that knew all about dinosaur bones? I'm like the archaeologist of Rogan. I know every fucking thing that he's doing and what his friends are doing. There is no conspiracy.
Oh, really, dude?
Well, Chris said the same thing, and look where he is now. I don't know. Maybe I'm in on it too. Let's hear some more. Hear some more.
It's happening around Joe himself.
Yeah.
But I'm worried about my friend.
Wow.
Yeah. And I don't necessarily want to push him towards being more if he doesn't want.
They're on so much Adderall and goofy stuff, and they're on momentum. This is what I said. Adderall and momentum equal crazy. What people don't understand, they go, what do you mean by crazy? It means when you do 8 podcasts a day, 15 blogs a day, 15 appearances a day, all this, all that, and you're doing Adderall, which all these guys are doing because you can't do all this talking without all this Adderall. They're all fucking doing it. You start going into a psychosis where you're just saying stuff that sounds epic without any meaning or fact behind it, and everyone's doing it, from Crowder to Cumia to these guys to everyone. Talk about a disaster. You're sitting around worrying about abortion rights out there. You should be worried about the people's minds and what they've become. This is the number one problem facing America. The delusions that everybody just engages with as if it's fact. This is absurd.
I want it because I don't want to conscript people. He's got a great life. He's got a great situation. He's done a huge service. Thank God. Do you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. How much do I owe Joe just for what he's done for you? To say nothing of what he's done for me or for Brett or for Sam or any of these people. Jew. And, you know, I'd like to think that we all try to give back, but I'm worried about Joe.
Wow.
He's not worried.
One of the inspiring things about Joe.
Yeah.
Is, I mean, he's in this war alone, and the way he fights the war
oh my God, look at
is
that
by
smile.
just enjoying.
One of the best parts of Joe is that he's fighting. He's not fighting.
He literally let a smile wash over his face thinking about Joe fighting a war.
Joe is pulling and pushing and being fucked in the ass. That's about it. He ain't fighting no war. Okay? He's sitting there dodging bullets. That ain't fighting.
Life.
Well, that's his thing. As long as he stays close to things that he loves and being, you know, one of the things is he's honest about his drug use. He loves to hunt. So he does a certain amount of like
these intellectual. It's like all these guys love Joe because they're the guy that they never were. And they're like, Joe likes me and he's a jock. Joe likes me and he's a hunter. Joe likes me and he has guns. I'm accepted by the bullies now. That's what's going on with these fucking whack job intellectuals. They love that they're and by the way, they're so nerdy that they think Joe is actually the cool kid from school. Joe was also the nerd. Joe is a midget. His muscles don't amount to cool. They amount to stupid looking.
Vice signaling up front. And then you just also know him. This is why every time they try to take him down, you use the N-word. You know?
Every time they try to take him down. Who's they? I try to take him down more than anyone there.
He just got $100 million.
$100 million from one of the most liberal companies in the... Yeah, the liberal people are trying to take Joe Rogan down. That's why they gave him $100 million, and they work with him, and Bernie Sanders is his best friend, and Andrew Yang's at his house. What world are we living in, folks? And we just agree. We just agree. It's like when you guys listen to, oh, they robbed the election. Let's get with it, people. Enough. You're lying to yourselves at this point. It's embarrassing. Let's get with it, folks.
Unfortunately, everybody knows who Joe is. And he doesn't act as if he went to a fancy finishing school. Right? That's not his energy. The fact that you got some super smart guy.
You have nipples coming out. I feel like I'm watching a fucking porn, bro, because I got a nipple shooting out at me here. I got a nipple here. Is this fucking Total Recall? Because I'm counting 3. Here's another fucking nipple. Free the nipple, he says. Jesus Christ, put on a fucking bikini, bro. You're naked. I mean...
Always pretends to be a meathead. Just like, it's like, hey, I'm a comedian. It's like all these defenses and disguises. Yeah. Okay, you got this super smart guy who...
Super smart. Super smart.
He's admitted to most of the things that, you can take him down for. And because everybody's been effectively in his den or his basement, think about that studio as his basement. People have hung out with Joe so many hours that you can't tell them something about Joe where they're going to say, wow, I'm going to believe the New York Times and not the hundreds of hours I've spent on the Joe Rogan Experience.
But the cool thing is that this is what inspires me, is that the way he's waging war against the system is just by being a good person.
By shutting up and complying? Waging war against the fucking system? Joe is waging war against the system. I see it every day when I look at him. What is he? He sits there and he says the dumbest fucking shit about hunting. That ain't war. You're a fucking fool, Lex. And I'd like to see your black belt skills at work. I challenge you to a martial arts competition. Yep. The winner retires from the internet. Me and you, any martial arts studio that's how you know that something's fucking gay, when it's done in a studio. Wait. Never mind. Let's hear some more.
And talking enough hours in a week where that message like bleeds throughout the words, like in the gaps between. And that's so inspiring to me, that the good people can win by just being good. And
he's kind and he's tough, and he's no pushover.
He's kind. And
I always worry a little bit when I sit down in that chair.
Wow.
You still get scared that he'll call you on some kind of bullshit that you weren't even aware of?
No, the first time I was on
he's scared that Joe's going to say something stupid and wreck his whole thing.
Wait, did you skip ahead? Did you hear the part where... Have we been watching this whole time?
Yeah, the whole time. Yeah, we've been watching.
Oh, I missed something.
Sorry, you missed it all.
Show the energy wasn't great between us. Yeah. And it was in a sober October situation. So I think I hadn't understood that.
Listen to this.
That's the part I was waiting for.
This is great. So they're talking about, does Joe intimidate you like he does me? No, I just kind of think he's an asshole. Listen to this stuff. 2 men talking about Rogan in this type of way. I can't believe it.
Just by being a good person and talking enough hours in a week where that message like bleeds throughout the words, like in the gaps between. And that's so inspiring to me, that the good people can win by just being good. And
he's kind and he's tough, and he's no pushover.
No.
I always worry a little bit when I sit down in that chair.
You still get scared?
You're worried that Joe's so scary? No, I'm worried that he's going to make a fool out of both of us.
That he'll call you on some kind of bullshit that you weren't even aware of?
No, the first time I was on the show, the energy wasn't great between us.
Really? Oh, really, dude? The energy wasn't great between you fat, fucking, disgusting, wart-ridden slob, and Rogan. Why wasn't the energy great?
And what is it saying about these two intellectuals that they get nervous that Joe is going to call them out on bullshit?
Intellectuals shouldn't even know what a podcast is.
You're the one who's supposed to be telling him stuff.
Yes. Listen to this.
And it was in a sober October situation. So I think I hadn't understood that. And maybe our egos got a little bit off.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, I was having fun, but maybe it was just two complicated life forms getting to know each other. But the first one was
You're a complicated life form? I'd say that. You look like the goddamn COVID symbol with all these things protruding from you. A complicated life form. Yeah, I thought I saw you on Rick and Morty.
Probably. Yeah, that made me a little nervous for the future. But then, you know, Joe and I have become friends, although sometimes we have miscommunications. Like on Yom Kippur, I texted him and I said, Joe, you know, I want to apologize for ways I've let you down as a friend and haven't been there for you, and appreciate everything you've done for me, all this stuff. Mm-hmm. Like I get this text back, like, what the fuck is your problem? You're great, dude. I don't know what bad place you're in, but cheer up.
You're writing Joe these fucking worries? And by the way, when Joe writes you back, you're like, what are you doing? That means he's like, ugh, what is this guy fucking doing? You're writing Joe, I'm sorry that I can't live up to you. Joe's like, what? I don't even remember who this is. Who is this? Who are you? This is crazy, man. I want my intellectuals in the lab. Okay? This is what those guys in 007 were killing those guys for. Remember, the only scientists I know are the ones from that 007 game, GoldenEye. And yeah, maybe they deserve to die. They're dicking around in those labs. You know, scientist doesn't mean you're good.
Joe, don't you have any Jews in your life to apologize for what they've done? He was just like, dude, have you lost your mind? What the hell's gotten into you?
And scene. All right, so this is what's happening out there. Lex clips. Do you agree, or are you really mad and worried? Should be really mad and worried. What do we got next, Jules?